I'm going to be sharing with you in this video how to stay motivated when you feel uninspired, unmotivated, and not in alignment with who you really are. Because there's going to be times in your life where you don't want to keep going. You don't want to keep going. Maybe you have a vision that you want to create, that you want to live into, and you know that that's what you want to create. Yet, you feel like you just want to self-sabotage and give it all up. I'm going to share with you in this video how to overcome this so that you have the power and the energy that you need to keep going no matter what challenges come up in your experience. So if you're new to this channel, what I want you to do is I want you to hit that subscribe button. I want you to hit that notification bell because I do post a new video every single day. Also, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video to apply for a free consultation. I'm taking limited spots, so if you do want to be a part of my coaching program, be sure to apply as soon as possible. Now, the first thing that I want to share with you in this video in terms of how to stay motivated when you feel uninspired, unmotivated, and not in alignment is to, number one, show up anyways in whatever thing you don't want to show up in. Just show up. That's the rule of thumb that I go by. Just show up. You don't have to perform your best. You don't have to have it all figured out. Just show up. Just show up as much as you can in whatever way that you can control in anything that you're trying to manifest. So for example, if you feel like you're not worthy of manifesting, let's just say a living space, like you want to manifest a new apartment, just show up, for example, to a viewing. Go view the apartment. Go look at it. Just go observe. Just show up. Maybe you don't have the money. When I was manifesting my apartment / condo, I didn't have the money, yet I showed up anyways, and then the money started to come. I just showed up. Sometimes I don't necessarily feel like recording a video, yet I just show up anyways. I just show up. And then by the time I'm recording the video, I realize that yes, this is part of my vision. I'm remembering why I even started this in the first place, because I want to help people, because I have motivation. Motivation and inspiration is something that you actually create by showing up in the direction that you want, regardless of how you feel. Because oftentimes our comfort zone convinces us why we can't show up in that new level paradigm and that new level of identity. And we trust in that feeling, the comfort zone feeling. And of course, that's not a wise choice to make. That's not the smartest decision always, unless you want to be in your comfort zone. In that case, maybe it is the best choice to stay comfortable because simply you're not ready for some new level of transformation. But let's just say you want to transform and then you trust in your comfort zone. Not the wisest choice to make in my experience, because what's happening is that basically you're giving your power away to the old version of you. Now, what you want to learn to do is hold your awareness, hold your consciousness, and simply just show up. Just show up. Whatever that means to you, whatever that means to you in terms of helping you to go where you want to go, just show up. Just show up. Like let's just say you're trying to get a better body, or increase your muscle or look better, whatever that means to you, right? Because of course looks are completely subjective. What you find attractive in another and what a person finds attractive in you is totally subjective and relative based on the traits you've embodied and the traits that you resonate with. But we'll save that for a whole nother video. Let me know if you want to hear more about that in another video. But what you have to understand is that let's just say you're going to the gym. You don't necessarily have to perform the best workout and and kill yourself and in terms of working really hard. Maybe you just have to show up. Just show up. Just go to the gym. Even do a light workout. Just show up. Become the person that's just you know what? Maybe I don't feel the best today, but I'm just gonna show up. Just clock in and just show up. What happens is that your identity starts to shift, because usually, I want to make this very clear, right before you're about to manifest everything you want, what starts to happen is that last thing you need to do is just show up. You've already, quote unquote, done the hard work usually beforehand, which is just starting, which is just building the momentum in the direction of your dreams. It's just getting out of that loop in the comfort zone and just starting to build momentum. Starting to build momentum is actually harder than continuing on with the momentum that you've already built. I'm gonna say that one more time. Starting to build momentum is usually much harder than just continuing on with what you've already built. And that can include feeling a little bit uninspired and just showing up. Just showing up. Just showing up that day that you feel not inspired is going to be a lot easier than actually the beginning of the process when you started at the very beginning in terms of whatever it is that you're creating. Because now all you have to do is just follow the momentum that you've already created. Just simply show up. It's a very powerful rule of thumb. You know, sometimes I don't want to record these videos, but I know that this is what I want to create. So I just show up every single day. Doesn't matter how I feel, I am committed to creating this vision. I want as many people to know that as possible that they are divine creators of their reality. I'm committed to my mission. I'm committed to helping the masses become aware of their divinity. That's what I'm here for. That's the role that I've chosen to play. I'm committed to that. And so all I need to do is just show up. That's it. Maybe some videos are better than others. Maybe some videos perform better than others. That's not my concern. I'm not concerned with how many people subscribe to my channel. I'm not concerned with how many views I get. I'm not concerned with how well my business is doing one month, the next month, or anything like that. What I'm concerned about is showing up every single day. It's just as simple as that. Just showing up. And then in the long term, what this does is this builds an energy in your energy field. You build momentum and it becomes very easy just showing up. Oftentimes, even thinking about showing up can be a lot harder than just simply showing up. Thinking about taking action on your dreams can be very, very difficult. Showing up in the face of your fear, in the face of the lack of motivation, it can be a lot easier actually. And then what you'll find as well is that you start to create a feeling of motivation and inspiration. You create a feeling of motivation. Motivation and inspiration is you lifting yourself up regardless of how you feel. Oftentimes, I don't feel motivated. But then I motivate myself to feel more motivated, to feel in alignment. I am my own cheerleader in that way. I carry myself through the lack of motivation. Just show up. It's just as simple as that. Now, the second thing that I want to share with you in this video in terms of how to stay motivated when you feel uninspired, unmotivated, and not in alignment is number 2. Use that lack of motivation to be even more motivated. Use it. So when you feel lack of motivation, you can program yourself to actually say, you know what? Because I feel not motivated right now, I'm going to use that to go even further in the direction of what I want. You're going to be that wise person. You're going to make that counterintuitive move that most people don't make in their life. Okay? Most people, what they do is they have a lack of motivation and they let that control them. They let their emotions control them. Do you want your emotions to control you, or do you want to be in control of your life and not allow the sway of an emotional trigger to control you, right? So a powerful thing that you can do is simply actually, not only are you not going to resist any emotion in your body, you're not going to resist any lack of motivation, you're actually going to totally reprogram that, re-alchemize that, and use it to your advantage. Use it to your advantage and use it as a reason to go even deeper in the direction of what your heart really wants to create. Use it as a reason to be even more powerful. Use it as a reason to be even more in alignment. Use it as a reason to be even more connected. Use it as a reason to go even deeper into what your heart wants to create, because that lack of motivation is going to come up sometimes. There's going to be times where you don't feel motivated, or you don't feel connected, or you don't want to keep going. Yet you know what you do? You make that counterintuitive wise move that most people on the planet do not make, and you continue on with what you want to create anyways. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. You see people not committing to their dreams because they feel lack of motivation. You know what you do? You do the opposite of that. You do the opposite of what the masses are doing. You do the opposite of what most people are doing. Most people, when they have lack of motivation, they didn't go after their dreams. What you do is you simply do the opposite. Just do the opposite. Do the counterintuitive move. Be wise. Okay, this is how you stay motivated when you feel uninspired, is you actually do the opposite of what your ego is trying to convince you of. You do the opposite of what your old self is trying to convince you of. And keep in mind as well that in this process, usually when you have these feelings of lack of motivation is when you're about to transform into an absolutely epic version of yourself that you've never experienced before. And that is the test that you want to pass. Pass the test. Do not allow the test to define you. You are in control of your patterns. Your patterns are not in control of you. You are in control of your emotions. Your emotions are not in control of you. You might feel an emotion. Maybe you can't control that emotion, but can you control the choices that you make regardless of the emotion that you feel? Absolutely. That is your power. You are the power. Number 3, the final thing that I want to share with you in this video in terms of how to stay motivated when you feel uninspired, unmotivated, and not in alignment. To number 3, let your challenge be a catalyst for transformation. See, when you feel unmotivated, usually this accompanies some sort of a challenge, some sort of tribulation, something that's popping up into your experience that seemingly is contradicting what you want to create. It seemingly is going against what your heart really wants. What you want to do is, this is personally what works for me in terms of what has allowed me to create all the things that I want in my life, is to simply realize that you can let your challenge be a catalyst for transformation. What does this mean? This means that when that challenge comes up that seemingly is going against your transformation, you tell yourself, that means I'm about to become something more. You choose to see it in that way. You choose to see your challenge as a reason that you're about to transform. Let me give you an example in my personal life. This is something that I often don't like to talk about, but I'm going to share it with you anyways because I don't want to talk about it. It's usually something that I need to talk about. So let's talk about that right now. I used to have really, really bad health issues. You can even go to my community. I posted about it there on the little community tab where you can see like posts that I post. You can see that I used to have really bad skin issues, just horrible, absolutely terrible skin issues, and they were energetically related. I'm going to be recording a whole video on this, so stay tuned for that if you want to know more details about that. But it was connected to my level of consciousness. And the reason why I had such bad issues is because every time I had a challenge, I let that challenge turn me into a victim. I let that challenge bring me down. The challenge was the issue, the skin issue. But what I did was I made a choice. I made a choice to not allow those skin issues, not to allow my health issues to define my identity, to define who I am. And the skin issues got so intense, so bad, so difficult, so challenging that I made a choice to do the opposite. And what I'm going to tell you right now is that when I was in that space, I was programming myself to push away all my emotions, to be depressed, to be not happy, to not feel my emotions, to keep being a victim and keep making those choices. And at some point I thought to myself, what if I do the opposite of what I've been doing? And rather than to make this challenge bring me down, I reprogrammed myself to simply keep going. To keep going with what I knew was going to help me to heal this issue. And of course, I'm about 95% healed at this point. And I'm very grateful for that. You know, I have lingering aspects of this health issue still remaining, yet I've healed about 95% of it. And what's happening is that the only way I was able to get there was by any time, because this is not an overnight process. This was a multiple month process where my skin, I'm just going up and down and left and right. Sometimes it'd be better, sometimes it'd get worse. And every time it would get worse and there was a flare-up happening, what I did was I told myself, this means nothing. This means that I'm still gonna heal, that I'm still gonna be better, that I'm actually, and what I did was when I had those health issues, I replaced that victim mentality with an action that allowed me to transform. So when I had a health issue, get myself in the gym, go eat a clean meal. And I only eat clean meals, haven't eaten fast food in years, okay? And the thing is that every time I had this issue coming up, I would just keep going. I would just keep going. And actually, anytime there was a challenge coming up where I felt uninspired or unmotivated, what I did was I actually used that. Not only did I not let that challenge bring me down, I actually reframed it to not just keep going in the middle, but to become an even greater version of myself. So actually, what used to cause really, really bad issues for me, life actually taught me how to be an extremely healthy person. And now I have pretty much amazing skin, like amazing health. My health overall is very powerful and in a really good state right now, and continually, seemingly, is getting better and better and better, because that's what I chose to focus on. I just chose to focus on what is working. Not what is not working, not the issue, but just what is working. No matter what's happening, what can I focus on that is working? That is simply showing me that something is working. Because it's very easy to notice the things that are not working when you're trying to become something more. Very easy to just keep putting your attention, especially when you're making progress. It's easy for the ego to block out that progress. Like, oh yeah, I'm not making any progress. I'm unmotivated. Or why isn't this happening? I don't understand why this isn't happening. And it's like, are you serious? Look at all this progress you've made, yet you keep focusing in the past. You see, that's the ego. Why are you doing that? It's not really your fault. It's the ego trying to keep you stuck. But what I did was I let my challenge be a catalyst for transformation, and I encourage you to do the same thing. So when you have that old reality coming up, for me it was my health, and anytime I had a flare up, doesn't matter. I'm gonna keep going anyways. Keep eating healthy, keep going to the gym, keep going for those long walks, keep working on my business, even though I don't feel like it, just keep working. I keep embodying who I want to be regardless of what my health is telling me. I'm not allowing this little pattern, because the only reason my health was bad to begin with was because of the previous patterns that I actually chose in the past and the way that I was being. So why would I look at the circumstances to define who I am now and get reactive to that when it's just a manifestation of who I used to be? Why would I? That makes zero sense. Actually, the wiser move to make is to keep going in the direction that I want, and then eventually the past just falls away. And that's exactly what happened, and that's exactly what is going to happen to you when you decide to let your challenges be a catalyst for your transformation. And with that, I conclude this video. Once again, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video to apply for a free consultation. Also, leave a comment down below if this video was supportive for you in any way. I would love to hear what you have to say, and I read every single comment. Also, please hit that like button for me so that more people can get access to this content, because I do believe that every single person on this planet does deserve to know that they are divine creators of their reality, and that they can manifest their reality and do so in the most effortless and easeful way possible. And hitting that like button does help the YouTube algorithm push the videos out to more people, and that would be greatly appreciated. As always, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.